Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bodied, a Cloud9 fancast. I'm your host, Havokpus, and my co-host is Frozencreek.
Hello, hello. It's been a busy 2 weeks, I think.
It's very busy.
I haven't watched much Cloud9, but I played a bunch of Fire Emblem Three Houses again, so that's about all I've been doing.
Oh, nice. I've been working.
Yeah, I've been
Pretty
wanting
much it.
I've been wanting to play League so I could try Seraphine, but I haven't done
She's
that yet.
incredibly broken. I played with some people against it like once, and she absolutely demolished us so much that we just agreed like every time we play and it gets to the pick and ban phase, we just ban her outright. Like we don't want to deal with her at all. Because it's like incredibly broken in how she functions, and that like from such an early on point of the game with even not that many items, she can just absolutely just destroy you.
Or she seems like a champion I would enjoy playing, like a supportive mid lane or so. I'm hoping that I actually get a chance to play her soon.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, you mean the new one? Shit, I was talking about
Oh, a Rikara?
no, the gun lady
Yeah,
from the desert.
not Rikara. Is that not her name?
No, I thought it was.
She was broken. The
Yeah,
one ARAM I played with her in.
she also. Oh, Samira, that's her name.
I
That's
was
why I
Rikara is
got
from something
confused.
else.
But I also played against the Seraphim, and she was also very annoying. So I guess my point still
Yeah,
stands.
fair enough. But that's that's beside the point. That won't be important till like December.
Yeah. But we got some stuff to talk about. First, we actually got a comment from someone from YouTube. A shout out to Jonathan Fernandez for leaving us this really helpful comment. He said, just wanted to point a few mistakes about the points you made when talking about Fortnite roster signings. The scene is actually doing better than last year in terms of people participating. The prize pool is still better than most games in spite of COVID. The viewership for tournaments is only surpassed by League at this point, and very rarely CSGO LAN majors. It is badly managed scene, but it still is thriving because of the low barrier for entry to participating in tournaments, unlike League. The players that were signed to the C9 Fortnite roster average 1 to 5,000 viewers whenever they stream. So C9's making money off of that, which I think is really interesting. I think, Fortnite's not exactly something that you or I really pay attention to much, and I think a lot of people will kind of sleep on it in general, but it's interesting, and it's kind of good that the scene is kind of still there, and it is actually kind of quietly building back up to probably where it was when it first kind of became popular.
Yeah, and I mean, all this was news to me on honestly because I don't even watch Fortnite on Twitch ever. But I'm glad that we were able to get back into the game. If it's as strong as Jonathan is saying, because it is important to keep that branding out there.
Yeah, I think that that's definitely important, and I think that if it's definitely advantageous for C9 from a business perspective, you actually absolutely have to jump on it. So I think that that's good. I guess speaking of battle royales and us finding them advantageous, we actually just shut down our PUBG Mobile team. We've had them for about a year. They're I think not this time, but last time I think they came in 5th in like the most major like tournament, but I think this time around they didn't do so well. I'm not sure exactly the business side of how the PUBG Mobile scene is and how big that is in general. The only thing I know is that every once in a while someone will message me through Discord saying, asking if they can join Cloud9 and be a PUBG Mobile player, and I have to tell them no because that's not how this works.
Oh, really?
I get it all the time, and it's actually kind of funny. Since I'm a mod for the server, and we have a rule that basically says like, look, if you want to have any sort of business inquiries, there's an about like joining the team or anything, you have just contact Cloud9 through this email, and that's in the rules. Mods really don't have any power, and we're really, we really should just ignore them, and I should, but it's kind of annoying. And I can't resist when someone's saying like, talking to me about it. So they'll be like, hey, I want to join Cloud9. And I'm like, look, I'm just a mod. I have no power. I'm not like employed by them. I don't know what to tell you, man. But people constantly ask to join. I think recently it was this PUBG Mobile team. It might be because they disbanded, or that it's to like a demographic that may be a bit younger or something. I don't know. I don't know all the specifics of why like certain people message me for certain teams. But I'll get messages saying like, hey, I want to join, and then I'll have to like go through this whole process of explaining like I can't do anything. All you can do is send this email and maybe they will get back to you. I can't guarantee anything. And sometimes they don't even listen there and they'll continue to ask people. So it's very silly.
All right, so if I'm thinking of starting a competitive Among Us team, I should not contact you.
Yes, please do not contact me. I will tell you no, and Cloud9 will probably not contact me about it.
All right, duly noted.
Yes. But kind of sucks for the PUBG Mobile team. I honestly didn't pay too much attention to them, just because it's not really my thing. I'm not really a fan of watching battle royales. It's just, it's hard to kind of keep up with and kind of keep with. So, it sucks that they're leaving, but hopefully, at least while they were on Cloud9, they had some good times, and they at least did somewhat well while we did have them.
Yeah, and it was always fun to watch just because their production was really good.
Oh yeah, it was surprisingly high quality for a mobile esports scene. So really, really nice. But moving on, because I can't think of anything else to say about it. Rainbow Six wins yet another tournament. Our boys won the Korean Autumn Open. They're the champions, and they continue their domination of the scene, and you love to see it.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't get a chance to watch it.
I think I watched maybe a little bit of it. I whenever I watch Rainbow Six, I really don't know much of what's going on half the time, because it's weird, because it's like, they're always raiding these buildings that have multiple levels, right? So it's very like multi-layered, I guess, is how you want it. It has like an X, Y, and a Z axis, so you're having to pay attention to like every range of motion or degree of motion, whatever, So it's like everyone's kind of running around and shooting things, and they have traps and all this other stuff, and it's just weird. And then you just see people kind of die, and then they're like, okay, did we win or not? And then you're just kind of keeping track of like tallying if it's like a fight in whose favor and stuff. So it's okay. The team is fun to watch. I think probably Xiao is probably my favorite player from the team, because he usually has these really nutty plays, and he usually pops off and really helps the team win. So shout out to him, I guess.
Yep, shout out to them.
But moving on, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This is gonna be a really Valorant heavy episode, because we have a lot of news to talk about in regards to Valorant. Because oh boy, over the past 2 weeks we have been busy. The Korean team has kind of finalized their roster. We have officially signed Buzz, Hate, and Zeta. And honestly, the roster looks a lot better with them playing than the Apex players. So I really like watching them play together. I think Munchkin and Bazzi really do help round out kind of the talent involved. And they're playing pretty well. They did get like 3rd, 4th place in Clan Battle. It's called the Clan Battle Act 2. I think they maybe won a tournament before that or after that. I can't remember. But the in terms of like regional rankings, the Cloud9 Korea team is ranked like 4th or 5th in the region, which I think is pretty good. They also did announce that our former London Spitfire coach Pavane has shifted over to the Korean Valorant roster. So yay for being able to stay employed.
Yep, good news for him.
Yeah, hooray for Pavane. Cheers for Pavane. In other interesting news, we have signed Team Magical, which is an all-female Valorant roster. They are gone. They go under the name Cloud9 White. They are incredibly fun. I super love watching them play. They participated along with the blue roster, which is Tens and Friends, in the First Strike Open qualifier. And we're going to be seeing a lot of the First Strike stuff because their system's really dumb and how they're making this tournament all come together. But I honestly really like the white team. I don't know how much you've seen them play Frozen. But,
I watched them. I think I watched the last game. Actually, I might not have watched it. I meant to watch the game against whoever they lost to.
the booger the boogermen.
Yeah, the boogerman who actually
Yeah, the
put up a
slimy
fight.
boogermen.
Who actually put up a fight against our blue team. So
No,
I
yeah.
watched map 3 of the blue match. But
Yeah.
hold on. I'm not done on all female roster yet.
Okay.
But I did watch like the video of them like meeting for the first time, and like I think all of them all have a great personality and a lot of drive to be good in the game, because it doesn't seem like they ever really got a shot in CS:GO because they're women, and it didn't seem like they were really going to get a serious look in Valorant either. And I'm kind of glad that they all found each other first, because I think that made it a little bit easier to bring a team together to work as all women. And obviously they're very talented. They came in ranked sixth as like the sixth seed to Flashpoint.
Maybe.
I think that sounds right.
I know their accomplishments. I'm not sure about Flashpoint, but I know that they did. There was, one of the Ignition Series tournaments. There was like it was like a female Ignition Series tournament, and they won that.
Yeah.
And they came in top 16. Or no, their match was for top 16. They came in fairly high for this first qualifier. And yeah, I think what was great about this open qualifier was we saw a lot of like unsigned or like kind of tier 2 teams show that they're actually very competitive. They can challenge the tier 1 teams, but I love this white. It sounds really weird saying you love this white squad. I love the female squad because their playstyle is so different from the blue squad in that it's the female team seems to really prioritize like actual like strategic thinking and more about site executes and strategy and team play, while the blue team kind of focuses more on the other extreme of just hardcore aim and individual talent and kind of like winning gunfights and everything. So it's really interesting that there are a lot of really hard contrasts to how they do things, but honestly I think the white team is really skilled and still has a lot of potential. We recently just signed 2 coaches to help them. And I'm hoping that next time we see them, they can, win some more events. If they get through this, I think the next phase of the open qualifier or however they're doing it, again, it's really confusing, but I really want to see them make it to the main First Strike event. And I would love to see the blue versus white matchup and just have them play in an official tournament.
Yeah, we almost got that in Flashpoint, and it would have been super hype.
I'm so sad that in the event that happened like last week, we did not get to see them play each other. Everyone was cheering for them to beat the Boogermen, so that Cloud9, so the blue team could play them in the tournament, and it would just be like the hypest thing ever. But I'm hoping that we can still get that at some point. I would love to see them just face off, just to see like how they work and everything. I also think it's kind of valuable just in terms of scrims, because like now we have like a really strong, confident second team that you can kind of like test out strats and hide things from other teams without having to scrim your entire playbook.
Yeah, and it's a good chance to practice against a bunch of other stuff and other talented players in house without stuff leaking and such around. So I would like to see them play, but I also just want to keep seeing them compete on the same on the same level as men, because they've done it so far, and there's no reason that once they get a coach that they can't keep competing.
Oh yeah, for sure. This team is highly competitive, and I really like that the community is acting outside of
Mature,
outside of the disgusting
kind of mature, at
degenerate
least.
people. Most everyone
For the
in the
most part, they
Valorant,
are.
yeah, but most people in the Valorant community is very like supportive of the team. They seem to be really all for it. I really like that. It also seems to really sort of boost and try to encourage more, female players to kind of try to play and be competitive and try to break into the scene, because it's, I think it can certainly be done, and it's something that needs to happen, and so it's not just a boys club. But it's super dope. I really like it. I'm hoping they have a lot of success in the future. But speaking of Valorant success, the blue team ran the gauntlet and did win the First Strike Open qualifier. Now, there's no prize involved in that. Basically, all it did was set up seating for the closed qualifier that they're playing in now. And they won their first match yesterday, and I think they play the 100 Thieves team tomorrow, which is Friday, November 6th.
Is the C9 a white team playing in that too?
No, so the match they lost to the Boogermen made it to where they just narrowly missed being in the closed qualifier. But they have a chance to still qualify for First Strike, and there's like another open qualifier or something, or maybe there's a closed qualifier. Like I said, they're having like 4 or 5 different qualifiers just to do this one First Strike event in December. So it's really confusing, and how to qualify is kind of a mystery. But they still have a chance. So I'll be keeping an eye out for when they play next. I'll try to watch them, and if I get any more information on if or when they qualify, I will dispense it.
All right, well, good, because I've no clue what's going on.
Yes, same. But I guess moving on, CS:GO and the new team have their first match next week for Flashpoint, I believe. Flashpoint Season 2.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's November 10th. I don't know much more than that, but it is our first chance to see our CS:GO team in action together all at the same time.
Yeah, I'm really
super exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited. This roster has been hyped up for about a couple months now, and it's just really fun. Just fun to get really excited, and especially with the last signing of Eastag. I think they were kind of memeing the whole like, oh, we're building a C9 Colossus or whatever. But then with his signing from Astralis, it really does kind of look like, damn, C9's team is actually kind of stacked. So I really want to see Alex and Mezzy and Floppy, who's returning, which is nice to see, and Eastag, and I can't believe I'm forgetting one. The other guy.
Yeah, the other guy. Actually, it's probably listed.
Woxic. That's his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. I remembered.
But yeah, super hype about that. We'll have to see how they perform together for the first time, because this is the first competition together.
Yeah, they've been trying to boot camp a little bit. Alex had to kind of leave the boot camp in I think they're in Belarus. It started with a B.
Interesting.
But they were scrimming together there. No, it was Belgrade. Belgrade is where they were.
Okay.
That's
where the coach is from, right?
Yeah. They were in Serbia because the coach Kasad's from Serbia. But they were boot camping there. But then I think, due to a lot of COVID spikes globally, I think France was looking at maybe doing another lockdown, and so Alex had to go back just because of visa stuff and everything. So he kind of had to leave boot camp, but hopefully that doesn't put too much of a damper on things. I imagine that we are still trying to practice as best and as hard as possible.
Huh. Yeah, that does make it weird, but hopefully they're still able to compete because it's not like the distances in Europe are quite like they are in America either. So it's not like playing on Chicago ping from LA.
Yeah.
I believe, I guess I haven't measured my kilometers from those distances, but I don't believe.
Nice. You converted.
Yeah, so
like a
I
gentleman.
don't believe it's quite as far. So
no, yeah, Europe. I believe Europe usually has better servers since it's not as large. So hopefully that isn't that big of a deal. But yeah, mark your calendars for next week, and behold, C9 CS:GO's Colossus. Say Das Vidania to the competition.
All right, I lied. Paris to Belgrade is pretty far.
Okay.
To Belgrade, it's 17.5-hour drive.
Oh Jesus!
Actually, I think that might actually be shorter than LA.
That's still pretty far.
2 seconds.
We're doing this in real time, folks. Please forgive us.
Yeah, but that's crossing borders and such. It's a 30-hour drive from LA to Chicago, and you're not.
Okay, that's not that bad.
It's stopping at borders or anything, so it's close, I guess. 2,000 miles versus 1,782 kilometers. So do your math, people. Study in school. Don't be like me.
Study in school. Don't be like America. Don't use imperial measurements.
All right, but but that's beside the point.
Yeah. One thing, and I actually forgot to write this down in my notes, but the Halo team actually played Frozen, and it had happened so briefly that we completely missed it. They played in it was like the Halo Pro Series, Halo 5 Pro Series, and they got to the grand finals and they lost 0-3 to I can't remember the team name. But the weirdest thing about it is it was kind of our Halo team's legit first event as a team under Cloud9, and the majority of the matches were off stream. Which
I remember seeing that now.
Yeah, and I think I just wanted to bring it up just because it was really frustrating for me because I really was hyped about the Halo signing and I really wanted to watch our team play Halo, right? And I imagine a bunch of other Cloud9 fans were as well, but the fact that you get this team together, they're gonna play in their first tournament event thingy, and it's most of the matches are gonna be off stream. It's just that's such a buzzkill, On top of that, we placed second, which kind of sucks, but second place is still good. But it kind of sucks that I wasn't able to. Yeah. I mean, it kind of sucks that I didn't get to watch really the entire amount of time them playing. I was able to watch their semifinals match, or some of the semifinals match, and then I was able to watch the grand finals match. It was really lame, but I do hope that our Halo team does have more events in the future, just because I really want to watch them play. It's something that Halo's kind of nostalgic because I remember when I was a kid just playing Halo with people and playing online. So to kind of watch that again, it maybe did feel a bit nostalgic and feel a little good inside. I want more of that sweet serotonin rushing through my veins.
Yeah, I never really got into it, but I did like the Netflix. I don't know if it was actually a Netflix show or not, but Red vs. Blue. Yeah,
it's a Rooster Teeth thing, and they have their own streaming service.
Okay, I remember watching it on Netflix 5 years ago, though.
Yeah, I think a couple seasons were on Netflix. I think they pulled it because Rooster Teeth was we're going to do our own streaming service so people can pay us for our content directly or whatever. And it's just I'm not going to pay you $15 a month just to watch your funny videos or whatever a day earlier before you put them online for most of it. Like they have like exclusive content, I guess, but it's not like enough for me to be like, oh geez, I better get in on this action, you know?
Yeah, I'm looking at their website right now. No clue what it is, to be honest, but that's fine.
Yeah. But hopefully we'll see more of the Halo team in the future. But moving on, the British Hurricanes, Frozen, the win streak lives on. Kings of Europe, dominating the contenders scene. Honestly, put these boys in the Overwatch League stage because I think they have outgrown their competition. They're just crushing it.
Yeah, they have been really, really good in their league. So I'm curious to see how that measures up in Overwatch League, just based off the fact that they've been working together so long, and honestly makes a lot of sense for them to just be promoted. To be honest.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think earlier in the year I was even saying when the old roster was really doing poorly, I was kind of saying like maybe you could just sub them in. Like I know it would be impossible because of traveling and everything at the time, but if it wasn't that, if that thing wasn't the thing restricting people, I would have just been like just sub them in, you know. But the British Hurricanes are honestly insane. In contenders, I saw a thing earlier this week that said like they had a or last week, I think they had like a, I believe it was like a 97, 98% win rate in their scrims,
Jesus.
which is honestly insane.
It sounds like our league team, but they actually put it on the stage too.
No, yeah, like the British Hurricanes have been insanely consistent, like for the most part in the entirety of their history in Overwatch contenders. Like I remember when we first started the Hurricanes, they dominated and they were the champions of like the first year they were doing it. And then I think they had like a little bit of a dull period when the rosters were kind of shuffled up a bit because some players that were really good, like, you know, went to try to get into Overwatch League and stuff happened. But then we built this team back up and they've been crushing it for a while. I think they were champions. I think when it was like a full, they switched to like this weird monthly model where like each month they have a tournament. But I think the last time they had like a big full blown tournament, they were champions of that. And ever since we've been doing this monthly model, I think they've just been winning those consistently. So they're honestly insane. And I really think, and I've been trying to keep an eye on like any news for like what the actual London Spitfire roster for next year is going to be. And I haven't seen it yet, but I think the general consensus seems to be Hurricanes are going to get promoted and we're going to see these guys taking on the big dogs and, you know, seeing if they can flex their muscles on the big stage.
Yeah, I'd fully support that decision. So,
oh, for sure. I think that's honestly, that would be a really great thing. I think there are also a couple of rumors of maybe taking some other European players like Soon, who's a big like European name. You know, he was playing Overwatch before we went into a league format. In the league format, he was on, I think he was on the Valiant at first, and he was a big name. And then he moved to Paris to play for the Paris Eternal. But his contract with them has ended, so he could pick up Soon. You know, he's kind of an old player, but it would maybe be neat to get like some veteran talent, you know, veteran Overwatch League talent kind of behind a bunch of the Hurricanes players that were kind of pulling up. There's a lot of ways they could do it. I think that there are a lot of European names, since this whole business with a lot of people going to free agency and contracts being ended and people being released and all that. There's a lot of ways you could slice it. So I'm keeping an eye out. I'm hoping we get some news or at least some rumors soon, because I just want the juice. I want to know.
Yeah, I hope it's sooner rather than later.
Yeah, same.
But talking about roster changes and promotions.
Oh, excellent transition. Yes. So Fudge, our good boy from the OPL, has been promoted officially to start as top laner. And also Reignover has officially been announced as the head coach for the LCS team.
Yeah, I think we talked a little bit about Fudge last time.
We talked a little bit about it last week, yeah.
And Reignover too, but again, I think it's a good move financially. I think the long-term future of Fudge is probably safely at worst about the same as Licorice right now.
They seem pretty comparable like players. I think when you look at how they play and how they function as players and through a team, I think they both look just about the same. I think since Fudge is younger, Fudge could maybe have a higher ceiling and push himself to be better than Licorice, but I think that they seem to be both the same players, honestly. So it's not like we're really losing anything from a skill area.
Yeah, I hope not. I like the move, as I've said. There's been rumors of a Niski change, but I'm not exactly sold on that unless it's a massive upgrade, and it's still a lot more rumor heavy than anything
Right.
concrete. So I don't have much to add about that. But Reignover officially is the head coach, as we kind of already knew. So
Yeah, big surprise.
yeah,
It's Reignover.
It will be interesting to have a Reignover versus Bjergsen coaching matchup in 2020, or I guess it'll be 2021.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that the landscape for League next year is going to be so interesting because you have with COVID still being a thing, especially for America basically not controlling it and recognizing the problem. It could be it could hurt a lot of import buying power from certain teams. Players from Korea and Europe and I guess around the world just in general may not want to really come and play here if it's you're at a more susceptible risk to catch a potentially a devastating illness. So there's that. Also, coaches, the coaching situation, I think in general is just probably going to be shipping around a lot. Peter Dunn was recently announced to be Evil Genius's head coach, which will be interesting. And
yeah, that's true.
And Bjergsen, I think being a head coach it's a path that I think that this was always how Bjergsen was going to go. Like he was going to eventually retire, and I think that this is a good spot for him to retire. Honestly, he's been playing for a while, and I think that at a certain point you can only do so much as you can, like by yourself as a player. And I can't argue that he hasn't done enough. He's done more than enough for TSM, and himself. He's won multiple regional championships. I think it's time for him to just hang up the mouse and keyboard, look to guiding players and bring sort of forth the next generation of players into TSM rather than trying to constantly carry the players past the finish line. So
I mean, he's still going to be doing that.
No, he's still going to be doing it, but through his brain instead of his muscles.
True.
It's a more noble way of carrying players, but I think that that's sort of the direction he was always headed. But I'm it's kind of a good thing that he's still at least involved instead of just like I'm just gonna be a streamer or whatever. I'm just done with the competitive scene in general. It's good that he's still going to be kind of there, so it's not like he's totally absent.
Yeah, and I guess I'm more curious about what they're going to do about mid lane, and if they bring him in like a young guy, well, what happens if that guy sucks? Does Bjergsen just playing coach at the same time? Because that sounds
they could be like Space Jam situation.
It sounds like a very TSM thing to do.
They could do a Space Jam. They could pull a Space Jam.
Yeah, it sounds like a very TSM thing to do.
The TSM situation is interesting because I've seen rumors also that Biofrost is going to be gone.
And Broken Blade.
I'm not sure what Treats is going to do. I've heard some very mild rumors that he may be gone as well. So TSM's kind of scrambling to fill like so many holes. Rosters are going to be interesting this offseason. I believe it opens up like in a couple weeks.
I think I saw that the Jacob Wolf Twitch ESPN rumor show was maybe the first week of December, something like that.
I thought it was like the trade window opens the 16th. That's what I heard.
Oh, okay.
So it's
maybe it was mid-November. I'm not sure.
yeah, I think it's
Wolf Bombs.
mid-November. So it's not. Yeah, it's not super far away. So we're probably going to be seeing a lot now that Worlds is over. Especially, we're probably going to see a lot of news flood in about people going places and rumors of people signing to different teams and everything. So keep an eye out on your Twitter feeds and your Reddits, and we'll see where the chips lie. We also have a bunch of interesting facts about what's going to happen in general because no more spring split.
Yeah, these are all rumored changes from Travis now. Travis Stafford. I'll let you run through them.
Yeah, so it's there's not going to be any more spring split. We're basically going to be like the NFL or baseball, where you just have one really long season throughout the year. So I guess more like baseball. There's going to be an MSI qualifying tournament with top teams at certain points. Each team plays like each other like 5 times, instead of, I guess we do 4 throughout the year, 2 being each split. So each team plays each other 5 times in the year. There's going to be a small kickoff tournament for the season starts, kind of like what Overwatch League did when the league started, where they kind of had like a season 0 sort of, just like exhibition tournament kind of thing. And it looks like they may also be changing Academy to mixing up the Academy and more of the amateur scene and kind of trying to grow, I guess what would you maybe call like the tier 3 amateur scene, and kind of trying to bridge that gap to the official kind of tier 2 Academy scene. So a lot of interesting changes. I'm not honestly sure how I feel about it. Part of me kind of agrees that it's a good idea. In some aspects, spring split literally is kind of pointless, especially this year with there being no MSI, and I think teams just in general have never really had much ambition towards the spring split. So kind of eliminating that makes your performance throughout the year more impactful. I think bringing up the Academy scene and mixing out the amateur scene is good just for player development, because that's something that we kind of lack in NA as a region. We'll see how it is. I think that NA has a lot of problems. Does this fix them? I don't know. If we still play best of ones, probably not.
I do like the idea of taking out the spring split. I know this is something I've been talking about since I don't know when, but it's been a while at this point. That the reason for spring split existing in its current state, and really even in its past state, was kind of dumb. There's not really a reason to have 2 like quote unquote seasons.
Yeah.
Throughout the year. Why not just combine them and have that like time off before and
just have like a mid-season break. Yeah,
just give them 2 weeks off or something, as opposed to giving them a month and a half off.
Yeah,
where they're practicing the whole time, pretty much in anyway. So I think that might open up some more vacation time for non-MSI teams for sure. I'm not entirely sold on like that Kespa Cup tournament before the season starts. I think it would be good for.
I think it'd be good for the viewers.
Yeah, but like, I don't get why each team plays each other 5 times when the whole point of having them play each other an even amount of times was so they each got the same amount of games on a red and blue side against each other.
I think it's just in case that. I think that 5 times is probably due to at the end of the season, if you're looking in terms of to break any ties, you have that 5th game as sort of the deciding tiebreaker. Or if you want to look at it in a grand scheme of things, essentially throughout the year, you are playing every team in a very long, drawn out best of 5.
I mean, but there shouldn't be a ton of tiebreakers after you've played, 45 games. So I think they should take off the Kespa Cup tournament and add another round robins, so each team gets the same amount of red and in blue side games, because although like the winning percentage isn't really that different on each side, like that was the whole point of having them play twice a split is so they get a side selection for each team. So I think that's kind of weird, but I'm not sold on the changes to Academy yet. I do like the mirroring Academy LCS split, just so there is a working team for or like a working like subs team kind of for LCS, and it's a good way for younger players to um get a real practice on a team, playing week in and week out, and practicing against players of like the same caliber. And I'm not sold on losing that and mixing it with amateur, because I think we need to lift up amateur more than
A bring down academy.
yeah. And
yeah, that's certainly a good point. I can't argue against it at this point, basically. I do think that the amateur scene does need some assistance. Is that the best way to do it? Who knows? We'll have to see how it goes. Maybe it could be that there's just a lot of really good amateur players that don't have the right exposure to get into academy, and this could help them. Or what? We'll have to see. I'm just hoping that we get a lot of really good League of Legends action throughout the year.
Yeah, and I think it'll do a good job getting people exposed to amateurs, and even and I think a lot of who the amateurs are going to be people who can't play on stage anyway, or the amateurs to care about. Most of them are going to be 16 or 17, so they can't even play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So once do we know what those changes are, we can talk about it more. But I don't know. I do think we need a better amateur scene, but it's tough because that's money that has to be spent that we have to find somewhere else.
Yeah. And speaking of, this kind of transitions to our last topic in the somewhat controversial signing of General Sniper. He is a 14-year-old streamer.
He just
Apparently
turned 14, I think.
Just turned 14. Wowee.
Something like that.
This super young kid was signed by Cloud9 as a streamer. Riot said that is a no-no. And basically, Jack actually did a whole, sort of tweet breakdown of how it worked. And basically, Riot's doing some stuff with the amateur scene, and they said that I think no one under, was it 16?
I think it was 16.
No one under 16 could be signed as a player. So Cloud9 and Jack interpreted that as saying, you cannot sign anyone under 16 as a player to play in your League of Legends team for this academy or new amateur scene, whatever the hell they're doing. So Jack signs General Sniper as a streamer. He's not going to be an official player. He's just going to stream for them. He'll be under the Cloud9 banner, but he'll be a streamer. He's not playing in any matches or any sort of official capacity. Riot said that's a no-no. You can't do that. What we meant was you cannot sign anyone under 16 for for any sort of League of Legends based thing. And it's a whole thing, but they had to terminate the contract. It's very sad. If we sign him again, we'll have to wait a couple of years, which sounds very weird.
Yeah, and even the C9 Dota team lasted longer than him.
The quickest signing in Cloud9 history.
But I guess I'm interested to see what the changes are going to be, but it seems almost like Riot wants some form of competition for him in the future, through scouting grounds or through like the amateur academy like thing. So I don't know. hopefully he's our future replacement for Fudge.
Yeah. I think that I do think it is good oversight on C9's part to at least look towards the future past the signing of Fudge and being like, who can we mold and bring up in the Cloud9 system that once Fudge is ready to sort of leave or retire or whatever, that we have someone that's just as good, if not better, than Fudge, ready to be loaded in. I really do, admire that, and I really do like that we're having sort of this foresight. It kind of sucks that there are rules in place that that are stopping us from doing this, but that's the rules are rules, and it kind of sucks. But hopefully, our this doesn't diminish any plans for the future in terms of the next generation of Cloud9 players.
Yeah, and I guess it kind of makes sense. He's 14, so he should be a kid.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely should just be a kid. He should be having fun with his classmates and whatnot. Not, I got to do my job with this multi-million-dollar esports organization.
Yeah, and beating his brother in solo queue, who I believe is Viper.
Yes, he is related to Viper. I'm not sure if they're cousins or brothers. I know that they are related. I can't remember the relation.
Yeah, so hopefully he achieves higher highs than Viper does. But I think that's about it. Oh, we've gone on for quite a while today.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of news. But thanks for listening, and remember to follow us at C9 Bodied, and we will see you again next time.
Yep, see you guys.
Goodbye.
Hopefully soon. Bye.